I want to introduce you to the exact reason why we have the Second Amendment.
Moments ago, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky called on all of its citizens who were ready to defend the country from Russian forces to come forward, saying Kyiv would issue weapons to everyone who wants them. Russia launched an all-out invasion of Ukraine by land, air, and sea, the biggest attack by one state against another in Europe since World War II.
So how bloody do you think this can get? How much fight do you think the Ukrainians have here?
I think Ukrainians have 150%, 500% fight. I mean, they're going to fight like hell. And actually, they just passed a law in which guns are allowed to be used in freely in Ukraine. So that is a preparation. So if every Ukrainian takes a gun, Russians don't have a prayer. I mean, the military can fight, but it would be Ukrainians, I think, really ready to die.
So I don't know if I'm tripping, but is CNN now pro two-way? No, they're not. They're still very much anti-two-way, but they know they will look silly trying to go up against what this woman is saying, considering everything that's going on right now. I have a very good friend of mine who, whenever he's having conversations with people about the Second Amendment, he likes to ask these series of questions to get them to understand the reality of what the Second Amendment is about. First question he asks is, so do you ever think that you'll see World War III in your lifetime? And considering everything that's going on right now, most people say yes. Then the next question he asks is, so if you happen to be in World War III, would you prefer to have a gun or not have a gun? Most people say, yeah. So here's the thing. I'm not saying that we're absolutely going to see World War III. But one thing we have to understand is there is a reason why we have the Second Amendment. And there's a lot of people that don't like to accept the reality. See, when I talk about the Second Amendment and how the Second Amendment was put in place to protect our country against foreign or domestic tyrannical governments, people look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, where are you getting this from? This could never happen here. No. Come on, we're a modern progressive society. Well, allow me to introduce you to 2022, considering everything that's going on right now. The irony is, Ukraine's gun laws, comparatively speaking to its surrounding countries, gun laws aren't as restrictive as the other countries. But there's something to be said about the fact that they were strict enough that they have to loosen them so that people can now go out and buy firearms to protect themselves against a foreign threat. There are nothing but sharks out there. The only thing that they respect, the only language they speak is power. It's no different than you having to deal with criminals here in America, where the only thing they understand and the only language they speak is power. The Second Amendment was written for that very thing. Was designed for us to have what we needed, because the founding fathers who put that in place, the reason they wrote the Second Amendment, they just got done fighting a war against a foreign government that they thought was tyrannical. And so they said, well, if we're going to have this thing here that we value and we cherish, which is based and predicated on the idea of freedom and self-reliance, we need to protect the very thing that they would need to fight back against a government, whether it was domestic or foreign, from trying to take that away from them. And that would be the Second Amendment. For all these years, you have this government that you relied on to keep you safe. And they said they would keep you safe. And they would do this by having gun laws and all these restrictions on people's ability to have firearms, only for them to later on tell you, hey, guess what? We're relaxing those laws now. Go out and buy all the guns that you want, because you're going to need them to protect yourself, because honestly, we can't do anything for you. As a matter of fact, we actually need your help to fight the people who are trying to invade us now. That should be a prime example for everyone here in America. See, right now, we don't have to get the government's permission to do these things, because we have a Second Amendment right here in this country. So take advantage of the fact that here in America, we have an unrestricted right to exercise our Second Amendment, because most people don't have that luxury, but we do. So go out there, buy a gun, learn to use it safely, learn to use it effectively. There's so much information out there for people to ascertain and get in order to learn to use a firearm effectively and safely. That's what we need to be doing in this country, because whether you like it or not, reality is reality. There's nothing you can do about it. You can talk about how moral and virtuous you are and how a gun signifies violence and you're anti-violence. Cool. Be that way all you want. But when it comes down to it, understand the reality, at some point it's going to make you have to flip that switch to defend that thing that you say you are. Because the thing that would be coming for you doesn't care about your morality. It doesn't care about your compassion. It doesn't care about your grace. The only thing it respects is equal or greater power. That is it. And that, for a lot of people, for the vast majority of people, is what the Second Amendment represents. There are some people out there who see you as a target. There are people out there who see you as a victim. You're gonna have to defend that, because with freedom comes responsibilities. And one of those responsibilities is defending it. It doesn't just go on autonomously. Freedom has to actively be defended. It sucks. I'm the most compassionate person in the world. I really am. I hate that aspect about me to a degree sometimes, but I also understand reality. And with reality means that I'm gonna have to flip that switch at one point. I may not like it, but in order for me to maintain the thing that I consider beautiful, the thing that I consider to be extremely important, whether that be my ability to live and be compassionate and to have grace and so forth and so on, I have to still be able to protect that. That's just the way things are. It is what it is. So you can't wish upon a star and hope that things just get better. Freedom has to actively be protected. Period. You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment. However, I can't think of anything more empowering than having the most effective tool to protect you and your family. So help me spread this message by liking and sharing this video with everyone you know. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment, because the Second Amendment, when it said militia, it wasn't talking about the government. It was talking about you. Also, if you want to know where to find the I'm the Militia shirt and merchandise, click the I'm the Militia link in the description section of this video. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, make sure you hit that bell symbol.